Okay, welcome to Simplified Christmas. So I'm going to I have all kinds of things to cover with you guys. Everything from gift giving, gift buying, how to communicate this with your kids, what if your husband's not on board, how to prep your house, holiday decor, pretty much everything. Hey, Danielle, how is Waffle House? Danielle went to Waffle House. She's pretty excited about it. I mean, excited enough to make a post about it. She's in Kentucky. Okay. So this Christmas, I'm going to start with this saying that I tell you guys all the time is to worry about yourself. Okay. And what I mean by that is don't get so caught up in trying to make everybody comply with your desires for Christmas, with your vision of what Christmas is. I tell you guys all the time, I can't make your husband on board. I can't make your family on board. I can't make your friends on board. What I can teach you how to do is how to take ownership of your Christmas. And yeah, get a notebook, Shamra. Yeah, get a notebook, guys. Take notes. It's going to be a lot. But worry about yourself this Christmas. And I'm going to talk more specifically about this, just giving you kind of the general lowdown. How's Waffle House declutter some waffles? Going to give you guys some general lowdown of really worry about yourself. I don't know if you guys have seen that video of a little girl in her car seat and she's like trying to put her car seat on her desk, trying to help her. And she like yells at him, worry about yourself. Okay, worry about yourself. Okay. Be like that, because you're going to have a pretty miserable Christmas if you are focusing on trying to get everybody on board with what you want. Okay. You just got to do you, boo-goo, do you. Jessica says she's currently playing Monopoly Junior with a 2-year-old, an 8-year-old holding a baby while this is in the background. Good, Jessica. It's like we're doing mom life together. Except for my baby's asleep. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want to kind of just preface everything that I'm about to tell you with, because it applies to all of the things. Don't feel the need to get really extreme with your Christmas. Okay. I think a lot of times when you guys are asking me about Christmas, the things that you're wanting to know are, how do I get people to not give me presents? How do I not buy my kids presents? How do I get my husband not to buy presents? And you think that this minimalist or simplified Christmas has to be not a lot of gifts, or you're really hyper-focused on it being really extreme instead of focusing on it being a really happy, really fun, memorable, special time of year. Okay, whatever that means to you, whatever Christmas means to you, okay? I know Christmas is a pretty personal decision, and we're not a religious family, so Christmas means something completely different to us than a lot of other people. So don't feel the need to make Christmas extreme. Don't feel the need to worry about everybody else and what they're giving you or not giving you. Just simplify it, take a step back, and really enjoy it. And I'm going to give you lots and lots of tips on how exactly to do that, but I think it's really important to start off with that first. You've never heard of Monopoly Junior, Amy? It's amazing. Okay, now that we have talked kind of about the foundation of not being extreme with it, not being like overbearing or hyper-focused on, don't buy my kids gifts, we want experiences only, I want you to think of your Christmas why, okay? And we talk about this when we talk about normal declutter. A lot of times the reason that we want to declutter, or the reason that we start decluttering, hey, Abby, is because we are overwhelmed and just done with the mess. We don't want any more toys. We don't want any more things. We are had it up to our neck or whatever, up to our eyeballs. And that's a great place to start, but that's not going to be enough to get you through the holidays with happiness. Okay. That's kind of what I was talking about. If that's your only motivation, you're going to end up having a very extreme Christmas where it's not fun. It's very restrictive and you're focused on all the wrong things. Okay. So when we talk about your Christmas why, that was kind of what I was mentioning earlier. Christmas is a really personal thing. Hey, Marissa, and I'm going to come back and check on the comments later. But you have to figure out what your Christmas why. If you are a religious person and it's really important to you to keep that part of Christmas sacred and integral in your days, then put the focus on that. Okay. If you want to focus on creating kids who are not materialistic or instilling gratitude and graciousness and appreciation and generosity and getting into the community and supporting the community. Make that your why of Christmas, okay? Because when you spend all of your time focused on like, just don't bring crap into my house, then Christmas isn't going to be fun. Christmas isn't going to be special. It's not going to be magical. It's not going to be meaningful. And that's what I really want for you guys. I want you to be able to enjoy this without obsessing over toys and gifts, because it's so much more. Yes, we're going to talk about that, but there's a lot more to talk about. Now, the last thing, because whenever I do these videos with you guys that are really in depth, I want to talk to you about the why and kind of what's going on behind the scenes for you. Christmas for a lot of us is a trigger. Okay. Kristen says, amen. Christmas is a trigger for you. And a trigger, what I mean by that, if you don't know what that means, it means that it sparks something inside of you and makes you act in a way that you're not necessarily proud of, and it doesn't feel good, okay? It's like bringing up these issues and these deeply rooted emotional things and attachments that you have, okay? It's triggering you because you feel like Christmas is going to be a setback for you. You feel like Christmas is focusing on all the wrong things. You feel like Christmas is a burden. Christmas is a stress. Christmas is losing all your money. Christmas is focusing on all these stupid things that don't matter to you. Okay, Christmas isn't meant to be triggering. It's meant to be fun for you. So I want you to figure out what your Christmas triggers are, okay, and realize that Christmas doesn't have to be a setback for all of the work that you've done. And I think a lot of you guys are really sensitive to that too, because you have spent so much time decluttering that you're afraid that it's going to come all undone, okay? And that is valid. It's totally okay to feel like that, but I want you to know that's not what Christmas has to be. It's so much more. There's so much more that goes on during this time of year and the holidays and the season in general. Hey, Leah. Hey, other people that are popping on. Okay, so let's talk about decor, because that was one of the questions that you had. Now, I'm going to give you some quick tips. You guys, as with everything that I ever tell you, take it or leave it. Take what works for you and leave what doesn't work for you. I'm just hoping that this gives you a good guidance and a good starting point so that you can actually enjoy Christmas and not be freaking out about getting really extreme with it. Okay, tip number 1, stick to your budget. And I'm going to talk about this a lot because I used to be a corporate recruiter for my husband, and guess what the most the month of the year that we did the most hires of? January. And guess why? Everybody was like, I need some more income to recover from the holidays. So stick to your budget. It's not worth it to go out and blow a bunch of money on some decor that is going to make you regret it in January and wonder how you're going to put food on the table. Stick to your budget. That is fine. You can absolutely decorate on a budget. Now, tip number 2, stick to your style. So Christmas is fun. The holidays are fun. It's meant to be enjoyed. And just like when I talk about decorating your home, don't feel the need just to go out and buy all of this Christmas decor and all of these things to put up for the holidays if it doesn't match your styles. Now, I am not a really over-the-top type of, okay, Jessica's saying the same. I'm not an over-the-top decorator. I have lots of friends in here who are. Angela, Kristen even, and I wanted to make mention of the nutcracker because I made a post a while ago about this giant nutcracker that was like the size of me. And I was like, should I get it, guys? And Kristen was like, I have one. And it's not that I don't like it. It's that I don't feel like it fits my style at home. But when I see my friend's home gone all out with big giant nutcrackers and all of this crazy cool decor, I love it. And I see it, and it makes me really happy to see their extremely decorated homes. I just don't enjoy doing it. I like having my white Christmas tree that's super plain with stockings up and some twinkle lights around the house. And that's what I like. And it feels good to me and it matches my style. So I just want to give you permission to go all out with your decorating if that's what makes you happy. Okay. If you love making your house look like Disney World on crack at Christmas time, go for it. Go for it and do it. If you like Mousekin Village, go for it and do it. Okay. I grew up with a mom who had giant bins of bins and bins and bins and bins, like of Christmas decor, and Christmas just threw up all over the house. Okay. And it was really fun. But as an adult, I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. And that's it. I don't have any other reason other than I don't want to do it. And I feel like I can make my house cozy and Christmassy without it. So you have permission to go all out and do it. Now, if the process of decorating your home is not fun for you because you have too much stuff or you couldn't figure out what you actually like and what you don't like, go through it this year. Okay, open up all those bins, go through it all, keep what you love, and use this year as a chance to get rid of the things that you don't. And take it a step further and intentionally pack it away this year so that when you decorate next year, it's easy to go through and you can actually enjoy it. Okay, I think part of the process or part of the reason that people love having a home that looks like Christmas at the mall is because it's so fun to pull it all out and so fun to do it as a family. Kristen says, I don't want to do it is the best reason, or I want to do it is the best reason too. Yeah, exactly. If you want to do it, do it. And if you enjoy it, do it. Okay. And the first years that I had kids, I spent a lot of time and money trying to decorate my house in a way that I felt like I was supposed to. And I didn't enjoy it. Okay. I didn't have fun with it. I didn't like how it looked. And I wish that I would have just kept it really simple like I do now. And when Christmas time comes, guys, I will show you pictures of what we do for Christmas and you'll be like, wow, that's so cute. I love it. Just like when I see my friends who go all out, I'm like, wow, that is so cool and fun. I love it. You just have to make sure it's aligned with whatever you do or do not want to do and stick to your budget because I really don't believe any decoration is worth suffering the pain of debt. Okay. Don't do it. And I put in my notes here, just be freaking happy. Okay. Just be freaking happy with whatever it is that you do. You can get decor on a budget. You can do things like if I do decor, like I said, I do like simple, like twinkle lights of like whites or blues, around the house. You can do it on a budget. You can do these small things that look really cute. You can make like, decorations with your kids. You can do snowflakes with glitter. You can do paper chains. You can do so many things like the wall stain or not wall stains, like the window stain things. You can do so much on a budget and make it really good for your family. So go all out if that's what you love to do. If you don't love to go all out, don't. Now, I want to let you guys know too, I'm probably a fraud. I know a lot of times people use the word minimalist, but I'm probably a fraud because I believe in gifts and Christmas and going all out for it. So we'll talk about that in a minute too. Okay, let me go catch up on comments real quick just to make sure that I'm not missing anything important. I think you guys went on a tangent about Monopoly. Emily says, we're changing our Christmas theme to homemade Christmas and allowing all our multicolored lights and homemade stuff to go up every year instead of buying new stuff. I love that. That's perfect, Emily. Perfect. Jessica says, I hate decor. I hate the tree. I hate the smell. I'm a Grinch. Bah humbug. That's so funny. And some people just are. Just totally fine. All our stuff was our mother-in-law's stuff. I hate all of it. My hubby had one for every year of his life. My kid had one from here, and I am with nothing. I didn't feel a part of our own tree. Yeah, Jessica, and that's a really good point. I think it's really, really important to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing is your own, and it's totally okay and healthy to put up those boundaries and say, hey, I want to start making our own Christmas traditions, which is kind of hard, especially when you have to like break away from family. But no labels, Krista. My bad. It's hard to break away from family, but you have to realize at some point too that you are creating your own family now, and it's totally okay to have that kind of communication and put up those kinds of boundaries and do your own thing. Okay, now before you decorate, I do want to say, and before you get into the holidays, I do want to say that it's really, really important and very, very valuable and wise to prep your house. By that, I mean declutter. And by that, I mean we have a group starting next week, group coaching. It's 1 week for 7 days to an uncluttered home where I'm going to help you do this, and you're going to get it all ready before even Black Friday or Thanksgiving if you partake in Black Friday. But get your house ready. Just like when I talk about like decorating your home in general, it doesn't make sense to decorate on top of a mess. You got to clear it out, clean it out, have it nice and open and free, and then you can add the stuff onto it. So if you're not in 7 days to an uncluttered home, I would love to have you in that with us. It's $44 for the course that you get access to for life. Laundry, dishes, toys, bathroom, car, your surfaces, plus a week of group coaching, which I just started today because I couldn't contain my excitement. I was like, I can't wait till Monday. We're going to start setting some goals for the next week and got the moms in there. So there is that. which is the $44 course. And I have a free guide, the minimalist toy guide, that I will put in the comments, which is just kind of a good starting point for the holiday season. Okay, now let's talk about husbands real quick, and husbands who maybe are not on board with your vision for Christmas. I love spoiling the kids for Christmas too. We focus on quality and love watching them open everything. Okay, Kristen's got to go. Kristen has twins, 1-year-old twins, so she's busy. Now, I think a lot of you guys can relate to this in that your husband and you are not on the same page yet, maybe when it comes to decluttering, simplifying, living with less, and that means that in turn, you probably are not on the same page with what to do for Christmas. Now, that is okay. I'm going to say that the same rules apply. You just do your thing. You worry about yourself, but take it a step further and let him know why you're wanting to do this. Okay, what we talked about at the beginning, your Christmas why. Okay, I want to raise kids who appreciate what they have, who take care of what they have, who understand the value of having nice things and treating things with respect. So I let my husband know that. I don't want them to think that, they just get anything and everything all the time and they can trash it, and that's fine because we'll get them something new. Communicate whatever your why is to him and let him know. Okay, so it's going to look different for everybody. Some people are going to want to make, focusing on the religious aspect of Christmas more of the focal point versus gifts, and just have some open communication with him about it. And I want to let you guys know how different my husband and I are on this. Okay, if it were up to me, I would take my kids on vacation for Christmas and we would be on the beach and I wouldn't even worry about toys at all. My husband's not on board with that, and that is okay with me. He loves buying them gifts and he loves spoiling them. He loves being able to watch them on Christmas morning, open up their toys, and then we spend the rest of the day playing with them. And I had my chance at having my kind of Christmas when we lived in Florida. Our first year in Florida, some of you guys know, money was really, really tight. We didn't have anything other than stockings and some dollar store stuff in the stockings for them. They were 4 and 2. And so we did that. We did the stockings, and then we went and spent the entire day at the beach. And it was the best. And then every year that we had a Christmas in Florida, we went to the beach. It was cold for us because we were acclimated, but I loved those Christmases where we didn't have a lot of toys. We didn't do a bunch of gifts. We didn't do anything crazy. It was like, here's some puzzles. Let's go to the freaking beach. And the kids loved it. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, if your husband is really into buying gifts, let him do it. Okay, they're his kids too. It's his Christmas too. And like I said at the beginning, Christmas is often a trigger for us because we think that it's going to undo all of the work that we did for the year before. And that's just not true. It's just not true. Yeah, it takes a little bit more intentionality. Yeah, you're probably going to have to do some more purging before and after, but it's not ruining all of the progress that you've already made, okay? So that's how different my husband and I are. And I hope that when my kids are a little bit older, especially when Kaylee's older, he'll be on board and I can be like, hey, let's go to Italy for Christmas and not worry about toys and just have the best time ever. And he'll be like, heck yeah, let's do it. But we'll see what happens. But don't think that his stuff, buying toys for them is going to ruin everything. He has no idea what I buy the kids until it comes in the mail. So I'm going smaller this year, 1 big gift and 2 small. Perfect. Hey, Jamie. Okay, so that's husbands. Now let's talk about the kids. So if you are wanting to switch up Christmas this year and add a little bit more intention, like doing Christmas more on purpose. Okay, let's say that. Let's say doing Christmas more on purpose versus just doing what you are told Christmas is supposed to be. And it's going to be different for your kids. I personally don't think that you need to have a conversation with your kids about it. It's going to make it weird for them. You don't have to be like, guys, you don't have to sit them down and be like, guys, this year, you're only getting 3 presents because we've done Christmas a little bit differently in the past and I'm just not happy with it because your kids don't understand it. Okay. That's way over their head. And all that's going to come up from it is that they're going to feel weird about it. They're going to feel weird about Christmas because all of a sudden you're like putting all this pressure on, like, you might not get as many presents this year. Santa might not be bringing so much. And they're going to question it and they're probably going to feel a little icky about it in some way not on purpose. And I know that you have the best of intentions in trying to communicate this with them. But instead of focusing on, communicating and trying to get them to understand your issues with Christmas and why you're trying to fix them, just do it. Okay, just make these changes, make it more intentional, make it positive, and take action, I guess is what I'm trying to say. They don't understand. They don't really care. Okay, unless you're raising, like if you guys, Harry Potter reference, okay, if you guys watch Harry Potter, unless you're raising a Dudley Dursley who's like counting his presents and throwing a fit because he has 2 less than last year, you don't need to communicate them to him, okay? Kids are, they just don't think like we do, okay? It's a bigger deal to us than it is to them, honestly, and they're gonna be happy as long as you make Christmas a happy time. They would be like, what did I do wrong? Yeah, and just like, it's like kind of the same concept when I talk to you guys about decluttering the toys. Okay, don't make it it's their fault. Okay, it's not their fault that they have too many toys. They didn't buy them. They didn't keep them. They're not responsible for setting up the playroom. They're just the kids, and we set the tone and the space around them. So it's not their fault that Christmas hasn't been intentional before. Don't make it weird for them. That's my personal opinion. Do what you want. But just focus on the things that you do. Focus on everything else that you believe is important. Like for me, I think getting out into the community during Christmas is important. Giving back, being generous, being around family. I do think giving is important in time and energy and not just gifts. Okay. So for your kids, I wouldn't really make it a big deal. I would just get really clear on why you want to make the changes and then make the changes. It's just going to be normal for them. Okay. Now, when it comes to simplified gifts for your kids, okay, because that's what everybody wants to talk about, right? They're like, what do I actually get them? What do I buy? The first thing that I want to talk to you about is, why do you feel the need? Okay. And maybe this is just me speaking from my own experience, but I think a lot of other people relate to it. And I know Jasmine had kind of asked about it, but she's like, I don't want to feel guilty about not buying her things. That's totally a you thing. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, why do I feel like I need to buy them $1,000 worth of toys? Why do I feel the need to buy them anything and everything that they ask for? Is it because you grew up with not a lot? Is it because you grew up with parents who did that for you and you want to be able to do that too? Is it because maybe when they were younger, you were really broke and you want to make up for it, which would be like myself. Like I said, we had those Christmases where we could only afford stockings. We didn't even have a Christmas tree. We only could afford stockings and some like candy to put in the stockings and then to go to the beach. And for me, it's like, now we can buy them things. Of course, I want to go out and make up for that. And that's not how kids think. That's not how they care about it. So I want you to just really ask yourself, why do I feel the need to go crazy and overspend and buy them all of these things that really aren't that important in the long run? And if it's because you love to spoil them and you love to see their faces light up, that's a good enough reason to do it, okay? But if you're only doing it because you want to make up for lost time, or you're only doing it because you didn't have a lot of things as a kid, maybe you should reevaluate and figure out a better way to give them gifts, or figure out, how many gifts you should actually give them or how much money you should spend on them. So also when it comes to gift giving for your kids, Kaylee's waking up. When it comes to gift giving for your kids, don't worry about like the numbers and the dollars. Obviously stick to your budget, but instead of getting so hyper focused on like, they're only getting 3 toys or everybody gets $100 or whatever it is for you, focus on the quality and focus on what the gift represents to them. So that might mean that the amount of gifts aren't always balanced. Okay, it doesn't make sense to give Kaylee, $100 worth of toys because I spent $100 on electronics for my older kids. Okay, it's going to be different. And just try to focus on like, what those toys actually represent to your kids and what they want and what you know would really make them happy versus like a set amount and a set dollar amount, okay? Because different ages of kids, you guys know, like my older kids, their things are more expensive and they're smaller. And it's not always going to be balanced and even in terms of dollars and numbers of things that they have to unwrap, but that's okay, okay? When you get really thoughtful with your gifts about what you're actually giving to the kids, they don't care. They're happy with it. They're like, I got my favorite thing that I'm really excited about, and this is perfect. And they don't care. They don't care, okay? Unless you're raising Dudley, Dursley. Okay. My next point was that, get your kids things that you are excited to give them because gifts are an expression of love, okay? It feels good to give people gifts. It feels good to give presents, especially to our kids. So when we go out and do this crazy thing of like, oh, I got to get every kid 7 toys, all of a sudden it doesn't feel special. It doesn't feel authentic. And instead of being like, I'm so excited to watch her open this, you're more stuck on like, oh man, like, are they going to notice that she has 2 more than the other person? Just focus on the quality and the intention behind the gift. Okay, so we are going to do a part 2. I'm going to go put her back to sleep and I will see you in like 10 minutes, okay?